Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to an event here tonight with the Smoky Mountain Motorsports late model stock car tour. Tonight they will tackle on South Boston Speedway, only 0.37 miles out there, so it's going to be a tight one. That's 68 degrees outside, 124 degree track, so that sun's just glaring down on this track. It should make for a slick and slippery surface. Will these drivers be able to handle that here tonight and keep this thing clean and green? So far we have 14 drivers on the docket, ready to take the roll and get their qualifying in to go out for their heat race. But before we get started there, we'll go ahead and I'll bring up the kind of the standings where everybody's kind of sitting here currently for practice, and we're seeing that right now Brandon Elvis on top over Christopher Smith, Jonathan Carter, Clint Walker, Dalton, the Tiger King is out there tonight in number 36, Brandon Cooper, Jason Haynes, Mark Stewart, Todd Lamphere, James Honeycutt, Christopher Cash, Larry Hansley Jr., Austin Cooper, and Christian Ruse. So a pretty good, nice sized little field here tonight on this very short track, but I got a chance to get out there and do some laps myself. I was running right around the 15.4 arrow, so I don't feel too bad as far as my short track pace goes, but I've always been the trouble of mine to be able to maintain tires to maintain those speeds. But right now they don't have much time left of practice. I believe there's a little over 2.5 minutes remaining as these drivers continue to get some laps in here before we go to our heat race, which will ultimately decide who and where everybody starts here tonight. And I believe tonight will be one of those nights where you want to start out front, as positions will be a premium around this track. It is going to be a tough one. It's going to take patience by the other drivers with the, if to make the passes count and go forward. So we're on track for 150 laps here tonight after the heat race, and that will definitely give us some great racing with the drivers here at the Smoky Mountain late model stock cars. So let's see here, what do we got? Oh, we got to put out we need to put out the standings. So tonight is the last race of the official season before they head into the playoffs, and the top 12 drivers will be the ones standing going to making that next step. So Christopher Smith on top, and then Brandon Elvis, Justin Coleman, Todd Lamphere, Mark Stewart, Clint Walker, Brandon Cooper, James Honeycutt, Christopher Cash, Austin Cooper, Christian Ruse, and Larry Hansley Jr. squeaking in at the last moment last week, moving up 3 spots, knocking off Christopher Tate for that 12th position. But you do have Jason Haynes out there tonight looking to maybe defend that and maybe come back and knock Larry Hansley off that bubble. So that 12th position being very important. Also got Lucas Whitehead down there and 15th. Rob Hattenbeck was down there at 16th. I don't know if those drivers are going to show here tonight, but I did want to put them up there in case they did decide to show, because there's always a slight chance, but it looks like we're pretty much set with the exception of Larry Hansley Jr. If he has a bad night tonight, he could find himself off that bubble spot and out of the playoffs. So can Jason Haynes perform here tonight, as it looks like Jason Haynes is currently sitting in that P7th spot there, that number 66 machine, currently sitting down in the pits here. Let's see if I can get his picture of his car here tonight so we know what we're looking at. And let's see, there we go, number 66, Monster Energy. So yeah, that will be the car I'll be watching here tonight, and also keeping an eye on that number 33. But practice is over and qualifying is now underway. Who's going to be the first car to take the track? Who am I going to focus on? Who wants that broadcaster's curse or broadcaster's boost? And it looks like it's going to be Jonathan Carter. He's the one that caught my eye the quickest. So we're going to go ahead and jump on board on the hood of Jonathan Carter as he makes his way around the track here at South Boston. How fast can he get on here? We're looking about the low 15s. Do they have something in the tank to make under 15 tonight? But we're going to see how good Jonathan Carter is able to get that machine around here tonight in number 5 car. We're coming down around now the final corner, looking across that start-finish line with a 15.516, so a pretty good time, but not good enough for Dalton Creech. As he was able to take provisional pole here early on. Obviously, this takes us into the heat race here, which is basically a really good warm-up for these drivers out there. But so 4 drivers so far with times in out there, looking to see who else can get out there and put in a good time. Right now, it's all Dalton Creech. Can he maintain that reign here early tonight, as looks like the Austin Cooper in the 12, he's out there currently in P number 4 with a 15.605. Christopher Cash only 0.2 of a second back from the leader, so running a 2.68. Larry Jr. running a 15.6, currently sitting in that P5 position. So plenty of spots out there. I don't know if I'd be the driver here tonight waiting to see what everybody's running. I think I'd get out there and at least try to put a good lap time in. You can see the 12 car clip in pit entry. So that's another thing I hope the drivers did here tonight, was practice that pit entry. So it's a long one, I believe. See, I'm not sure what rules we're using. There's 2 different entries, as there's a front stretch and a back stretch as far as pit entries go. So more than likely they'll be coming off at turn 3 to enter into the pits, and they will be exiting in the middle of 1 and 2, which are actually the exit of 2. So it has become pretty challenging, and it's got to be careful, and probably a lot of calling out and communication with the other drivers so we don't take each other out. But so far, it's 8 cars out there with times on the track. Slowest one on the track right now, P and Christopher Cash. And sometimes you think the guy that would be in charge would be maybe the faster of the bunch, but not tonight. Everybody's got his number, putting Christopher Cash towards the back of the pack here early on, as Christian Roos strikes a good lap time with that 15.6, and then got Clint Walker down there just come across the line with a 15.495. So just currently pushing the rest of the field back. 10 cars out there with times in a minute and a half remaining. Who will top the Tiger King? And it looks like Clint Walker will, with a 15.436. So outstanding time, only 5 thousandths of a second faster. So it's going to be a tight one up front here tonight, and I think the pole is going to be very, very important to see who completes these runs here. But Justin Coleman coming in third with a 15.447. So one person we haven't seen out there looking to get there is that number 54. He's out on the track right now. Can the 54 better any of these times? We've seen pretty good domination between the 54 of Brandon Elvis and Mark Stewart, putting in some good runs along with Justin Coleman in the 014. So it's going to be an interesting one here tonight. But see, Christopher Smith comes in that 80 with a 15.554. That was good enough for Pete, number 5. Yeah, Brandon Elvis, last week's winner, coming in tonight again with a 15.355. So got to start tonight off strong here on the pole for the heat race. I'd like to say welcome to all the race fans out there. Obviously, Barry is always stopping by. I really appreciate your support to CRN and everything that you have done for the past 2 years that the CRN's been live. Total commitment to CRN. Biggest fan by far. And looking out there. Oh, I guess I should get those point screens out there. Since qualifying's over, yeah, pretty good idea there, Barry. But Brandon Elvis on top there right now with the race, and we will get ready to take the grid, to the track, and get running out there. Tonight I'll be joined by my co-host Derek Sherman, as he's currently en route to the booth after dealing with some little goblins that he has commitments to, and making sure his little ones have fun after school. So, but he'll be here shortly as we begin this heat race. Probably show up either at the end of the heat race or maybe the beginning of the race. But right now, let's go down to the track and look at Brandon Elvis. I start off heat number 1 here tonight at South Boston Speedway. Speak of the devil, there he is now. See, I just gotta talk about him. When I talk about him, he shows up.
You know, the game went a little longer. Okay, balls and strikes. There's more balls than there were strikes. I can promise you.
I explained to the fans out there that you had to take care of the little goblins. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was my first time umpiring, so it went as good as you would expect.
I can only imagine trying to be a referee or umpire for a bunch of 3 to 5 year olds or however young they are, because they're probably like
10-year-olds.
10-year-olds. I mean, they can be just as bad. I mean, that's like rounding up cats at that age. So, but right now, heat number 1 is going to be, like we said, Brandon Elvis, Clint Walker on that front row, and followed by things in the way. The Tiger King and Jessica Coleman in row number 2, Mark Stewart and Larry Hansley in row number 3, Christopher Smith and Tyler Fair in row number 4, Jonathan Carter and Brandon Cooper row number 5, row number 6, Jason Haynes and James Honeycutt, row number 7, Austin Cooper, Christian Ruse, Christopher Cash bringing up the back of the field. Not always a bad place to be, because there could be some action with people getting together, so just need to be safe back there and have a clean race. But we're getting ready to go green here at South Boston for our quick and dirty heat race of 20 laps.
Yeah, Jimmy, tonight's going to be an interesting one for sure. A lot on the line tonight as we get ready for the playoffs. I'm trying to pull up the...
Yeah, I had the standings up, and I had them up there for quite a while for the viewers to view, and brought them down just before the heat race here. But Brandon Elvis our 20-lap race, the heat race before our feature here tonight. Gonna get off on an early lead, and you know it's gonna be nice to see that clean air. We're gonna see how these drivers do side by side. You see the 36 of the Tiger King just underneath the 02 of Clint Walker, able to make that position work. So, you know, might be one of those tracks where the bottom feeders are gonna work here. As you see the 02 of Clint Walker stuck on that outside as the 014 of Jessica Coleman goes down to the inside to take away heat number 3 and move the 02 back to 4, but the 88 there to close the door of Mark Stewart. So Clint Walker stuck on that outside, looking, he wants to get down to that inside, but you know, is there going to be enough time after that 88 gets by to sneak down as they slap the wall just a little bit back there? The 02, Larry Smith or Larry Hensley down there on that bottom side too, trying to work that underside underneath the 80.
Yeah, that bottom lane looks like it's going to be the place to be tonight. As you can see, Larry and Christopher Smith almost get the touch, but a good job of not getting there. But the 5 of Jonathan Carter, Top Lamb Fear, they're battling right there for P number 10 or 9. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but this is going to be a fun little track. It's a doozy. I didn't get to watch practice. I don't know what a good time is, but I do know from just racing here, it's going to be rough. You know, if your car's starting to get tight, you're going to want to jump to that apron, try to get as much of that car to get rotated. But you can play the devil's advocate with that, Jimmy. As if you get too much down there, you put get too much on the gas. You might spin yourself out there. So it's going to be fun, exciting to watch right now. Because there's a battle for P number 8 right now. Jonathan Carter trying to look for a spot on Larry Hensley Jr. there, and Todd Lamphere's right behind him trying to find a spot when he makes the mistake to take advantage of it there.
Yeah, they want to go ahead and get this heat race over and done with quickly as possible. Get the stage set for the race here tonight. Brandon Elvis doing a great job going out front, but there is a caution here with 11 laps to go here with Austin Cooper. We'll go ahead and take a small break here or do that replay thing and find out what has happened. That brought out that caution. So right there in front of the 69, you see the 66 and the 76 getting sideways in front of the 12 and 69. 12 with nowhere to go. 69 not able to slow up enough, getting together. So those 4 cars collected. The 12 facing the wrong way. Not something you want to see for the number 12, Austin Cooper. He's definitely had his fair share of bad luck being in the wrong spot at the wrong time. But here we go, starting here tonight. 10 laps ago, so half the heat race down after 10 laps of hard racing. So I do not know if this is going to be it, as we're going to see them, and these drivers are going to quickly know that they need to get position for the race. I mean, yes, they're going to be out here for 150 laps, but they're only 15-second laps, and passing is a premium. So we will see how hard some of these front drivers are going to want to get to that front. Who's going to challenge Brandon Elvis this week? Will it be the Tiger King? Will it be Justin Coleman? As you know, the gloves off as teammates, obviously, but Justin Coleman wanting to get up there and get himself a win maybe this week as we move into the playoffs here. And 88 of Mark Stewart, always a strong competitor, putting that machine up there. And then the 02 of Clint Walker, always, you know, everybody in this top 10 for the most part, Derek, you know, can win these races, and it's just being in the right spot at the right time, and sometimes just a little bit of lady luck out there. But right now, it's for the majority of the races here towards the end, it's been a lot of Brandon Elvis and Justin Coleman.
Yeah, Jimmy, if you can do me a favor to share your screen real quick so I can see what you see. But you're right. I mean, anyone in this top 10, heck, even 14th can even win it. Just if they make the right call at the right time, you know, to stay out, pit early, so that way they don't have to, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, stay out, you know, pit a little early, stay out, get the right amount of cautions, you know, so... You know, that was, I mean, anything can happen right now, especially at this track. So, it's going to be interesting to see what pit strategy is going to work out for everyone tonight. So, as the pace car is off, and Brandon Elvis is going to bring us to the green flag, and he's going to get a nice little jump over the 014 and the 36 of Mark Stewart now in P number 3. That 36 just seemed like he was just waiting to fall down in the back on the low line. As you can see, Clint Walker and Christopher Smith battling out there.
And the 5 and Honeycutt get together. Jonathan Carter, James Honeycutt getting together here with 5 laps to go here on the heat race. And you know it's just a heat race, and it doesn't count for points, but it does count for the start. So just kind of see what happened here with Honeycutt. I believe it's going to be the 5 of Jonathan Carter. That probably brings this out. Where is Carter?
It just looks like Larry got it a little too hot.
Oh, so it's a 69. Yeah, so the 69 of Christopher Cash, you know, maybe just trying to get on the gas a little bit, trying to get the 69 rotated, and it ends up pushing out up in front of Honeycutt in the 76, and then the 12 of the Cooper, just nowhere to go, unable to check up. And then we've seen, I think it was Jonathan Carter got involved in an incident as well. So Larry Hansley Jr. underneath the 5 of Jonathan Carter. I see Larry. It looks like he's a little bit off too much on the gas. Catches it. Oh, but the 5 tags the wall. Comes down across the 33. And just a little bit too much momentum there for the 33 into the rear of the 5, sending him around, and everybody else heading forward. And happened pretty much the same time as the yellow came out, so a little bit of a racing incident going on there. But back to the race here. 3 laps ago, Brandon Elvis out front over Justin Coleman in the 36 of Dalton Creech. And you know, it's this part of the race, this heat race. I mean, it's just kind of like a feeler for like how aggressive that the drivers can get and what they can and can't get out of this car. So there's a timing thing here with a 54-14 for these 2 drivers that work in tandem, and it looks like the 54 are wanting to take the lead, but leaving the 014 on that outside. So they're going to battle it out here for just only a few more laps remaining. Final lap is in the air, so this heat race will be in the books here, as there is some commotion going on towards the back of the field as the white flag flies. But we're going to stay up here with the leaders and see how this thing all ends. Though it's going to be Brandon Elvis with the lead over Justin Coleman, Mark Stewart for 1, 2, 3. Then you have the 36, the 26 of Todd Lapeer, 33 is Larry Hensley, Jason Haynes, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Smith, Christopher Cash, Christian Ruse, Clint Walker, James Honeycutt, Austin Cooper, Jonathan Carter. Ooh, it was a rough one in the back for the end of this heat race, Derek, and I hope that they could take whatever went on here in the back and leave it on the track and just move on through the race. 150 laps could be a long one here tonight with the amount of cautions that could come to play on this very, very short track.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out now. See how. Somehow Larry made it all. Christian Ruse. I mean, it's hard to figure it out there, Jimmy, what all started at, but I mean, it was a big old melee.
Yeah, big melee here. We'll go to the end of heat race. I'll show you the final results at iRacing. Cook up there again. Brandon Elvis, Justin Coleman, Mark Stewart, Dalton Creech, Todd Lampier, Larry Hensley Jr., Jason Haynes, Brandon Cooper, Christopher Smith, Christopher Cash, Clint Walker, Christian Ruse, James Honeycutt, Austin Cooper, and Jonathan Carter. So Jonathan Carter obviously being 7 laps down, starting a little bit farther up the front. So he's going to have to take his time and work his way through the field. And we've seen how difficult it is to pass here, as that bottom line is a premium. And so it's going to be all about timing, I think. And once these tires wear down, Derek, is, and who's managing their tires, keeping speed up to see how they can work their way through the field. So, but the one that is grateful for tonight so far is that number 54, Brandon Elvis.
Yeah, him and Justin Coleman look like they got some speed. They are obviously teammates, so they probably work a lot together on and figure out the tracks. I believe Brandon races in real life, so I mean, he had some experience on these short tracks. So having that knowledge and being able to relay it to your teammate and help him out and give him some advice, or vice versa. I mean, Justin could give him some Brandon some so that's just having the benefits of having a teammate there, Jimmy. So
yeah,
when you're slow, he can help you out.
Teammates are great when they work together. We'll put it that way. Sometimes you can get on teams and your teammates are just there. They like the idea, but the communication flow doesn't work very well sometimes. But
that is true. That is true.
Right now, they're out there just doing a quick warm up, maybe just looking at other lines that maybe they found during the heat race that they're trying to get to work and how hard it will be. And you can just see the bottom line here tonight, Derek, and unless the track gets rubbered in, over the course of the 150 laps, and how much the tires wear down, I'm wondering if that top line is going to be a viable place to be here tonight.
I don't think so. I mean, you might be able to hold your spot on the outside, maybe pick up a spot on the outside on the restarts, but as far as making it work in the race to make it a viable option, I doubt it. It's probably going to be that low to middle lane. You can run so you can prevent that top lane from working. but at the same time, if you're on Jonathan Carter right there, he ran pretty much what you would want. You know, tires on the yellow line or just below the yellow line in the corner, and the car will rotate. You know, help you slide that rear end around. That's how you want to run it. I mean, it's these short tracks is more about taking a wider arc and kind of getting a nice long straightaway exit out of that car. So, you know, it's going to be fun. It's going to be door banging. I imagine there's going to be a lot of bump and runs there, Jimmy. So, I mean, just a lot of extra stuff to watch for tonight.
Keep it safe up there, Barry, as weather is always a bad thing up there in that northeast area. Seems to be pretty finicky when it comes to y'all's internet up that way. So, but warm-up is over, Derek, and it is time for these drivers to take the field and get this last race of the season here kind of done and out of the way, and then move on to the playoffs. Like I said, it's a big race here for Larry Hansey Jr. and who was it? Jason Haynes, the 66. And they are side by side on row number 3 or 4. They're not side by side.
Are they? Is he just in front of Jason?
Yes. So those
are the points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're gonna be battling it out. So Larry needs to have a good night. Just basically, not finish last, and then have Jason win there tonight, and he should be fine moving into the playoffs. But with that all being said, we're looking to get this thing underway. 150 laps here at South Boston. Who will become the victor? Who will avoid the tragedies and any of the incidents that may occur here tonight? And Derek, when it comes to short tracks, I just kind of expect it. They're almost as exciting as a super speedway at times, where anything can happen at any corner. You go down the corner so fast, and next thing you know, you got a car sideways. So you never know what's going to happen here, but it really is going to take a lot on these drivers' conditions.
You know, we've seen the leader spin out on the first couple laps, and we've seen a bigger pile up on the first lap. I mean, we've seen it all. But I mean, you know, for Larry and Jason, they need to drive clean, smart races. So, you know, strategy: are you going to push the issue? Are you going to let things develop, or are you just kind of ride? But the green is out, and Brandon Elvis is going to bring us to that green flag. And he's going to lead this field to the turn number 1 on the bottom side, as Mark Stewart's on the bottom trying to challenge that 014 in that for that second spot. And the 014 is going to battle back on the outside. They kind of give it kindly a little door touch, and the 014 is going to keep that spot for right now. As Brandon Elvis takes the lead for lap number 1, they're going to go jump down into 3 and 4, and giving a little door tap there. And you know, this is what you gotta see is, I mean, this is a nice little battle. As you can see, the 88s got a little hard into the corner, slid up to the 04. No one's liking this more than that number 54, Brandon Elvis, because it's going to allow him to get a lead out. And finally, the 014 got in front of the 88, so now he can set his sights onto his teammate and Brandon Elvis.
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen a car on the outside kind of manage that outside and, you know, become victor over a position. So the 014 is able to make the outside work over the 88 of Mark Stewart. And, you know, we've seen Mark Stewart up there countless times, you know, looking, you know, he's hungry. He wants that win here or that victory, possibly even here tonight. You got the 36 of Dalton Creech. It's been a few weeks since we've seen him, but he's back out on the track, and he looks quick here tonight. Kyle Lepfier, another one of those drivers, plenty fast enough to get some wins underneath his belt. Just wrong spot, wrong time, get collected in some incidents. Larry Hansey Jr., just you know, a rough streak of bad incidents throughout the season, but currently sitting in Pete number 6, Jason Haynes, that he is fighting that 12th and final position for the playoffs, running right behind him. Brandon Cooper in P number 8. Christian Ruse up 3 spots, so getting a pretty good jump here early. Maybe was down on that low side, but in neither case is up to P number 9. Austin Cooper up 4 spots in 10th. Jonathan Carter, we've seen him fast, for the initial qualifying. He has a lot of work to do and a lot of field to cover, but he's up 4 spots already in P11. Christopher Cash back there in P number 12. James Honeycutt in 13th. Clint Walker's in 14th. The seen the 02 in the 80 of Christopher Smith kind of, I don't know if it was an instant early on, but it was just like lap 1 or 2, so it was near the X, I believe, before, so they just kind of got tied up together just a little bit, but that's okay. Everything is green here so far. We're on lap 11 of 150, Derek, and if these cars can continue to run like this, it'll be in a blink of an eye before this thing is over. But it looks like the 54 and the 014 of Justin Coleman are going to go around. Looks like the Austin Cooper, the 12, has had an incident here on lap 12. Oh, where's my mouse? Come on.
Yeah, mine. Oh.
We'll take a look back here. What happened to Austin Cooper? As and a slight nudge from the 5. Gonna send that 12 around. So Bushlight goes for a ride. He goes down, keeps it down on the inside wall as the rest of the cars go by. So it doesn't look like too much damage, but he should be able to bring that car back around. He is going to lose a few spots, and hopefully the flat spots don't, take too much of a toll on that car here.
Yeah, Jimmy, this should be all right. It might be a little damage on the left and heated up those tires, but he should be fine. It just looked like he got a good run out of the corner and checked up for the car in front of him, and the car behind him couldn't stop in time. So nothing you can do there. More of a racing incident. But I mean, a good hour racing so far. So good. Nothing crazy. I mean, it is the last race before the playoffs, so it could get a little intense here, Jimmy. I mean, we do have 150 laps. I believe we have 135 left to go, but I mean, it can go quick, it can go fast. Being on the outside restarting is going to be rough for some of these guys because they're probably going to get past and get anxious to get their spots back. So they just got to be patient and let everything come to them. So pace car is off, and Bart is going to wave that green flag, and Brandon Elvis is back to the loud pedal.
Yeah, so getting heavy on that right foot there, getting himself that 54 out front, the 88, using that the inside line yet again. Another battle for the 014, and Justin Coleman might get sick of this battle here at the end. On that apron, gets a little bit sideways, almost slides up to the 014, but stays out of it. The 36 has got a show and a half back here, so we'll go to the nose off the 36 and watch the battle that is in front of him between these two drivers of the 014 and the 88. Oh, they gotta be careful, and the Tiger King looking to keep that. Oh, and it looks like the caution flag is out again.
Yeah, looks like the 12 got into it again.
So Austin Cooper in another incident here. What happened this time? I just got too much in the gas. Slides up into the 76, sends the 12 around. Rough break there, and then let's see what happened with Christopher Smith. It looks like something happened during the caution. It looks like the 5 almost lost it. Oh, and the 69 is going to end up bumping into the 80 because he was slowing down for the 5. So some bumping are going around here early as these drivers continue to try to battle. But now Mark Stewart is at P number 2 there, Derek. Now he's going to be stuck on the outside of that 014 of Justin Coleman. Can he make that outside work and maintain his position, or will he fall trapped to the rest of the field, being stuck on the outside. So you've seen how tough it was for those drivers to kind of keep that spot up there.
You know, Jimmy, he's probably thinking, Justin Coleman is probably thinking, you know, I can race you like you race me. Maybe he feels a certain kind of way. I know the way it looked like it was, he ran him up the track a little bit. I mean, so if he has any hard feelings, it's time to get him back on that if that's how he feels. But, I mean, nothing malicious, so, but good hard racing. I mean, I
haven't seen anything malicious at this point so far. Just very hard fought racing. But the lights are off in the pace car. We're heading down the backstretch here. It is Brandon Elvis out in front still over Mark Stewart, Justin Coleman, the Tiger King of Dalton Creech, Todd Lampier, Larry Hansley, Jason Haynes, Brandon Cooper, Christian Reedus, Jonathan Carter for your top 10.
And we're off. Live Alpo for the 54, and so the 014, the 88 is going to hang tight on the 54's outside. About a half a car going into turn 3. Looks like the 88's doing an awesome job keeping that car on the outside of the 54. Just enough to not allow him to move up there, Jimmy, and get the proper run he needs. So he gets a little squirrely on the outside. 014's coming in and
I think there's a little bit of team racing here. You get the 54 and the 014 kind of hugging that bottom, and the 54 not pulling out in front of the 88 to allow that 88 to drop down. So just waiting for that 88 to maybe fall a little wayside or make a mistake. But he's holding tough there on the outside as he continues looking to get a lap led here, and he just he's nose to nose.
Just dead by the inches, huh?
Yeah, right there. He did get a lap led on that one there. So Mark went down from Mark Stewart, but can he get around the 54 on the outside? We talked about the inside being strong, but here we're seeing multiple times now the 88s now using that top side to keep that 54 kind of pinched down there. I think what it is just the outside car is doing just that, pinching the car down on the inside and not allowing them to get on the gas pedal.
Here's also the other thing, Jimmy. You can drive the car deeper, a little bit deeper on the outside. You can, rotate the corner a little bit, probably a little bit better. But you can get off the corner a little bit better. But here's the thing: you're going to burn up your tires doing it, heating them up. I'm not saying like abuse them, but enough to heat them up and start sliding the car. As we got a battle for 3 wide. Justin Coleman looked like he was wanting to take it 3 wide there for a second and thought better of it. If it wasn't his teammate, he probably would have. So, but the 54 and 88 are battling pretty hard there for P number 1. And this is an awesome shot of the battle right here on top of the Tiger King of Dalton Creech. So, beating and banging. Nothing crazy, just a little door touching. Awesome racing there. Oh, he gets sideways. Oh, so bad.
No,
melee. Oh.
There's a melee of stuff happening there, but it looks like the 88 lost it just a little bit in the Dalton Creech had nowhere to go, ends up running underneath. So let's go ahead and go back to see exactly what happened from overhead. Oh, looks like the 88 tagged the wall. The 014 goes low. The 88 slow, ends up getting rear-ended by the 36. Todd Lampier gets into the back of him. Larry Hansley getting on the brakes and cutting down on the apron. He misses it. The 8 gets collected. The 66 gets collected. The 5 is looking to miss it by locking up there. Let's see.
The 80 misses it.
Clint Walker's going to get tagged by Christian Ruse. Nowhere to go for the 76. He's going to pile in. This is like a quick reminder of our Bathurst start.
Too soon, Jimmy. Too soon.
If we could just only show you what happened. 22 meatballs on lap 1 at the 12 hours of Bathurst just last weekend in our split. So Yeah, tough lockup there by a lot of drivers. Now drivers starting to move and get back on the row. So I think we're gonna see some pit entries and pit stops happening here. As you can see, the Tiger King going down there and taking his fast repair, and just a miscue there, I think, by Dalton. But I think he had nowhere to go. You know, things happen so fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 88 did the right thing by keeping it in the wall. He just couldn't get stopped quick enough. So I think he thought he was going to hit the wall and continue on. I don't think he realized that he was kind of like stuck on the outside and stuck to the wall. So, but like, that's the other thing. You're in the front as the pace car is off and we're back racing. The 54 is going to take a lead over to the 14 and we're back green now. That was quick. Tom Lamphere and Larry Hensley Jr. is battling for that P number 3. Oh,
it's Larry Hensley.
Larry saves it. He gets tapped by Christopher Smith as he continues on. He's still on the outside battling for that P number 5 spot with Christopher Austin
Cooper.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Austin. So. Oh, he's still down there. He's going to run high. Oh, buddy. This is a lot of action. That was a lot of go. There goes Christopher Smith down on the inside of Austin Cooper in that 12. Oh, he gets a little sideways coming out of the corner. We got a caution. Oh, buddy, that was a lot of fun. I did not expect to go green there, Jimmy.
Yeah, we went green pretty quickly, obviously, and back in the back was where this all ensued. Oh, no, that's not the right one. My bad. Let me go back here. It was with Mark Stewart. I'm sure trying to get some of those laps back, but now being in the back of the pack with everybody else. Oh, and then 14 gets in the back of the 36, and then the 88 slowed up. The 66 turns around the 88, so Dalton Reach and Clint and Mark Stewart getting wrapped up in another incident here on lap 39.
Yeah, good hard racing there. As we got one pit taker on pit road, that was Jonathan Carter. So
yeah, let's show pit laps when people pit. Looks like Clint Walker, James Honeycutt, and Carter all in here on lap 41. Brendan Ellis, Justin Coleman, Todd Lamphere, Larry Hensley Jr., Austin Cooper, and Christopher Cash have decided not to pick. Christopher Smith there came in on lap 19, so and then everybody else was in just the last caution there on lap 32, between 32 and 34. So yeah, rough one here tonight to start so far, as obviously that is I guess the joys of short tracks. But we're on lap 43 of 150, so we're almost a third of the way completed here tonight, and it's been all Brandon Elvis out in front with his teammate Justin Coleman. It's almost like a shake and bake deal between these two. It almost reminds me of a Talladega Nights.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We got Brandon Elvis, Justin Coleman, Todd Lamphere, and Larry Hensley Jr., and Austin Cooper in the top 5. All of them have decided not to pit yet. First one to pit is Christopher Smith, and then Christopher Cash has not. So, you know, this is going to be interesting. New tires for old tires. It looks like Christopher Smith was on a roll there, having some good grip, so the pit strategy as the pace car's off. Brandon Elvis is going to get on that loud pedal and going to lead us to turn number 1. Taking that inside line. He's going to pull. Justin Coleman's going to pull alongside him going into turn 2. Turn 3, and going to come back, and Brandon Elvis might be able to clear him. I don't know, but he still leads a lot as we're going down in turn 1 and 2. Todd Lamphere jumps down in front of Larry Hensley Jr. as Christopher Smith is going to battle Larry Hensley Jr. for P number 4. So new tires is on its way to the front, starting to pass the cars that have not pitted. So as the 33 is going to try to battle the 80, he looks like he's going to give him the outside lane as he kept it down on the bottom. So not a bad move there, make the guy. So Christopher Smith's going to jump down low and put Larry Hensley Jr. at the top. So Larry Hensley Jr. is going to have a nice little run off and stay in front of Christopher Smith as we good little battle going for P number 5 as they're battling behind Dalton Creech and Brandon Cooper, I believe. And then number 8 is battling for P number 6. So
we haven't seen much of the 8 yet so far here tonight. Just kind of been quiet there. He's up currently 1 position as Dalton Creech has gotten around him, but Dalton Creech back on his way forward to get back to the front, kind of following suit behind the 80. Larry Hansen Jr. using kind of like a middle high line right now to kind of keep Christopher Smith at bay, but pretty decent running or race in between those two. It's a pretty good battle as well. Up back on the top of Dalton there as caution comes out for a stage break. So. And I think this is like one of the reasons some of the drivers have not come in there, because they very aware that the stage breaks are at lap 50 and 100.
Right. I mean, by the looks of the tires do matter, as you can see most of the guys that haven't pitted. Austin Cooper and Christopher Cash fell quite quickly to Christopher Smith and Dalton Creech, Brandon Cooper and Mark Stewart. So as you can see, everyone's going to stay out. Everyone's going to go in front of Dalton Creech, and he's going to take over as the new leader. And Justin Haynes is going to stay out. Clint Walker, Christian Ruse, electing to, and Jonathan Carter are going to stay out. Everyone else has pitted. So it's going to be interesting to see who takes right sides, who takes full tires, who's going to take their fast repair. So a lot going on right now there, Jimmy.
Yeah, a lot going on, and you're looking right now at the 66 of Jason Haynes, currently moving up to P number 2. Now, he does have some right front damage, and not necessarily a bad thing here on a short track. The biggest thing is that you have all your power, and that you can have control over your car. Aerodynamics are not really a thing here on a short track. It's not going to kill your car or make you lose a race, but big moves there for some people. Jonathan Carter in the 5, obviously being able to make his way back up to the field. You can see that Jonathan Carter came in there at lap 42, and I think everybody that them last laps, that last caution before the stage break was smart. Then they were able to move to the front of the pack here, so you're seeing that with some of these drivers as well. But you see I think some people kind of like that just came in and might have took that 2-tire stop to see where they fall. But you seen how racy they got, Derek. Are they going to have the patience to come up through the field? But pace car is in, and the 36 of Dalton Creech is now up front, getting on that loud pedal. Nobody to fight with, nobody in front of him, and he's going to go as Jason Haynes in that 66 takes P number 2, and it looks like the 0-2 of Clint Walker and Jonathan Carter battling out there for P number 4 with Tyler Lampier using that inside beneath the 5.
Yeah, and right now, Jonathan.
And caution's going to come out with Brandon Cooper, Larry Hansen, and Christopher Cash. See what happened here. Oh, and the 8 came in hot. Tags a 33. 33 goes sideways. 69 gets into the 8. That was checking up for the 33. Christian Ruse in the 14. Getting to the back end of the 69. Some of the drivers in the back are getting a little frustrated of are getting light taps. But we're on 59 of 150. We're, obviously over a third of the way through. We still have 92 laps remaining. So plenty of time for these drivers to move, make their way forward. I'm sure Dalton was looking to maybe get a little bit of a run there and stay out front, but not a bad thing right now, considering that they didn't stop for tires. So they need to make sure they have enough fuel to make it to the next stage break, and then decide whether they're going to come in or not. So I'm not quite sure on how many laps the drivers can do on the provided amount of fuel, but I do not know, and they might be close. to be able to make it the rest of the way on fuel, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think they can probably make it, Jimmy. Probably, if they have to do anything, they probably, caution laps, just turn off the car and let the car roll. So, if they're close. So, that's what I would do if I was Dalton Creech and Jason Haynes. Just try to stick it out as much as possible.
The first time I tried to turn the car off and ghost, couldn't get the car started again. I remember the first time. Yeah, I didn't have a switch to turn the car back on, but we're back green. Pace car is in. Dalton Creech back out front. 66 pulls in the second. 02 of Clint Walker on that low side, fighting for Pete. Number 3 with Todd Lamphere and that outside. So that is where the battle is right now. The 5 of Jonathan Carter, finally looking to make it maybe 3-1, making it tight.
He's all the way on the ball. Oh, there you go.
Oh, it was close.
That's what I was talking about there, Jimmy. You get on the apron, you go back on the gas pedal too much, you're going to slide that rear end. As you can see, he's now battling with Christopher Smith for that P number 5 spot. Todd Lamphere and Clint Walker took away advantage of that and took off, and now Todd Lamphere gets a little now we're big melee. Big melee.
Brandon Elvis and gets in with Clint Walker. That's an ugly one.
Yeah, that was you can see the 014 is pretty banged up right there. Hopefully he doesn't have to take a...
See what happens here. So the 5 you can see on the left hand screen gets into the 26 of Tyler Pierre. 014 checks up, just graces the 76, but can't go anywhere. Ends up getting into the 26, so he gets involved. Brandon Elvis escapes down to the side, but he will go. Oh, where's he at? Oh, you can see Brandon Elvis on that left side gets into the 02 of the Clint Walker. The 5 has to go down pit lane. Christopher Cash, 88's getting involved with the 14. Ugly. I
mean, one little mistake can cause a huge checkup because of just because it's everything's going so fast, and one little mistake can clog up that racing line really quick there, Jimmy. And obviously we've seen the what could happen there. So the 014 of Justin Coleman decided not to go in and take care of some of that damage. He's just going to take that track position as he is sitting P number 5. Austin Cooper's in P number 7, and Larry Hensley Jr. is in P number 8. Brendan Elvis is P number 9, and Christopher Cash in P number 10. So as Jonathan Carter's in the pits, probably got to get some work done. Tom Lamphere.
Car's definitely looking a little rough.
I mean, at this point, he's probably saying, I just need to make it to the last 50 laps, and then I'll come in and get my fast repair. So, as we're agreeing, and Dalton Creech is going to get on that lap pedal, Jason Haynes is not going to get a good restart. As Christopher Smith's going to take advantage. 014, 66 gets loose, as there's another big old melee coming in. Oh my gosh.
14 gets involved again. 69's involved. But Christian, oh wow, I can't keep up here. Christopher, let's see. It's back here. Austin Cooper, Jonathan Carter, looks like the main ones. No, Larry Hensley. Yeah, Austin Cooper, Jason Haynes, Justin Coleman, Christopher Cash, Clint Walker.
I mean, that was a big old melee. It just looked like got good clear. Yeah, I think he just got.
See what happens there between the 66 and 014. Maybe a little bit of net code. And as the 66 goes around, so this is going to check everything up. People are looking to get around. The 76 of Honeycutt gets around. The 12 gets into the 014. The 014 gets back into the 66. 014 just in front of the 33. I don't know how Larry didn't hit the 014. 69 hits the 014, and the driver's back here in the back just kind of getting on the brakes to avoid everything. So it shows that because they stopped pretty quickly, that
They got into a crash.
it says that they got in a car, but the 014 isn't that fast repair.
I don't think
014, so Jessica was like, "Ow, I think my car had enough." Now, if you're Coleman though, we're almost halfway. You know, how careful with all the melee that's been going on did Pack are you being in the back?
You know, I would like this. I mean, I'll talk about myself. If I'm in this spot, I'm going to try, but it's going to be really, really hard for me. That's like hanging a piece of candy in a fat kid's face and tell him not to touch it until. I mean, it's hard to do.
I like donuts more than candy.
I mean, whatever your poison is, dangle it out in your face and say, "Don't touch it," and you're really hungry, and tell me how that works out, because that's basically what you're trying to ask Justin Coleman to do. So I mean, all these guys are racers, and racers want to race, and they want to move forward. They don't like riding around. So it's going to be interesting, as I believe we're going to go to single file right now. So
the admins have brought up the single file start here. Dalton Creech going to use that to his advantage and get a nice start over the 80 of Christopher Smith as they go single file. And so we will have Dalton Creech, Christopher Smith, James Honeycutt, Mark Stewart, Larry Hicks Jr. for your top 5. Then Brandon Elvis has made his way up to Pete, number 6. Austin Cooper's in 7th. Brandon Cooper's in 8th. Jonathan Carter is in 9th. Justin Coleman is in 10th. Christian Ruse in 11th. And Jason Haynes back there in P number 12. They're all on the lead lap. And I'll just go ahead and just kind of show where everybody is at, so you can see their laps down. Christopher Cash, 1 lap down. Clint Walker, 1 lap down. Unfortunately, 6 laps down. But the way this goes, as long as you can keep your nose clean, you can catch that back up. A battle up here up front with Clint Walker, Mark Stewart and James Honeycutt. So Mark Stewart down on that inside, James Honeycutt defending the outside, trying to maintain Pete number 3, but Mark Stewart is able to pull down on the inside. And as strong as that inside line is, Derek, I think if somebody got a good run and they're putting on the interval, I might just let that person go by so I can drop in behind them so I'm not stuck on that outside.
Yeah, we got a caution out on the racetrack, and
what? Let's see, yellow flag for I am not sure.
Could it be
Brandon Cooper? Brandon Cooper. Oh, there he is. There's the 8.
Got just a little bit of a love tap from the 5 car and got sent around.
Yeah, they were down there on pit road, so caution would have probably not flown. So I'm sure that was an admin called caution. That's the one thing that this league does very well, is they do have a steward up there, and he's race control, so he's the one that finds people to the back, gives them the EOLs. He's also the guy up there that throws the cautions, and he does a fantastic job. And
I mean, that's a hard job to have.
Oh, it's so hard. Like, it's a lot harder. Sometimes it can be harder than being up here in the booth and talking about the race the whole time, but because he's down there making judgment calls. They're his judgment calls, what he thinks is right and wrong. And, Christopher Cash, has high expectations from him, and he does a fantastic job. So, right now, this here would be an admit caution, but we're on 83 of 150, a little over halfway. Pretty long night, I'm sure, for these drivers, and I'm sure they're wanting to see a little more green flag racing, but there's just hard racing, and it's short track racing, and all the drivers out here still learning and not being professionals, or you're not going to have the cleanest races, and it just it's a product of short tracks. I mean, it's just that a product of short tracks and everybody wanting to win, and just thinking they can push the car just that little bit more, and it just sometimes doesn't work.
Yeah, Jimmy. I mean, sometimes it's it sounds like Top Lanfear's not having too much fun right now. His steering wheel is 180 degrees to the right or to the left, one of the way. Either way, it's not going to the right way.
Oh,
So
check that out. Let's hop on and see if we can see if what he's talking about. We'll hop in the cockpit of Todd Lamphere, and you can see his hand is. Yeah, that's horrible. He's like he's doing a left-hand turn down the straightaway just to keep it straight. So that is rough. That's rough. I know that feeling all too well.
I hope he uses an H pattern, because the shifting right now would be a pain in the butt. But he's doing a pretty good job keeping it within the walls, so he's going to let everyone behind him pass him. So as we're back underway, and poor Todd Lamphere, that's a heartbreaker right there, as the 66 and the 8 of Brandon Cooper banging in each other in the corner there. As you can see, Dalton Creech there you go, the battling, beating them, banging. He's going to run them up a little bit. That's okay. They don't touch. They keep on going. The 66 is running in the 8 hard, trying to keep that P number 9 spot or P number 8 spot. So P number 9. So I mean, the 66 has to get in front of Larry Hensley Jr. and pretty much have to be able to get in the playoffs. So I mean,
yeah, I mean that's the situation. Right now we're on lap 90 by 150. You got 60 laps remaining. 61 laps remaining. And these laps can go by extremely quick here, and you need to try to move forward. Some of these drivers are looking to get some of their laps back, and right now it's just about being patient. And it looks like the 66 and the 8 get together. It's not what the 66 wanted, or the 8. Oh. Call there, as we've seen it live here. Don't really have to do too much of a replay, but I guess we could take an overhead look as Jason Haynes gets together with the 8 of Brandon Cooper. This hard racing at the 8 on the outside, 66 maybe trying to move up a little bit, 8 trying to drift down a little bit. Let's get together and take each other out. So tough one, Derek, tough one, as they continue to run around here. 93 laps complete here at South Boston. All the Tiger King out front. So Tiger King kind of sucking it up right now, as he was he decided not to come in when everybody else did within tires. Obviously he was just like, what was that, 43. So we can show that reel here. We'll go show the pit laps of all your drivers out there. Yeah,
Jimmy. Kind of wondering if some people are pitting just because we're probably going to have a stage break here in about a couple laps. So unless they call it off, see what these like Clint Walker and
Christian Roos, Todd Lamphere, in the pits right now. So
Todd Lamphere's a couple laps down. So
well, I can go to I'll put the gap up there so you can see where everybody's at. But Christian Roos making that last final pit stop. It could be one that put him in position for a good finish, but I don't know if he has he's still trying to get in. We're just making sure he has enough fuel. Go faster there. So they're still taking a little bit of damage. Here comes the pace car. Looking to stay out. He's going to need to get back out. So very small amount of time in the pits for the drivers to get things completed. So we're at lap 96 of 150 already, Derek.
Yeah, I mean, Larry's looking for Santa Claus to give him a little gift of that podium spot tonight. as he has some kind of Christmas special paint scheme there. The 014 and the 54 are back up in the top 5 to 6 spot. So I mean, it's going to be pretty exciting to see how they're going to make their way through the field as we are green. And let's ride on top of the old 1-4 of Justin Coleman and see how he's going to plan on getting around old Larry Hensley Jr. in front of him. As you can see, Larry and Brendan Elvis are battling for side by side as Justin had a cut.
Oh, gets a little touch there. It's going to keep on going.
Oh, good save.
What a save by the 014. You can see Larry Hensley up there kind of getting sideways.
His tires are really angry at him. Looks like he's on 112 degrees at Bathurst right now. So going through the down through the S's.
Lap 100 right now, so probably more than likely a stage break will ensue at the completion of this lap as Dalton Creech is out front over Mark Stewart, Larry Hensley Jr. That's Brandon Elvis, also Brandon Cooper, Justin Coleman, Christopher Cash, Christopher Smith, and Christian Ruse as the competition caution will fly here at lap 100. Now it's on the drivers. Derek, who's going to come in for the pits? Who's got enough gas to the end? Who wants to lose those track positions? I believe somebody is going to get one of their laps back. Yeah, so Jason Haynes will end up getting one of his laps back.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see the pit strategy here. Is the 54? It looks like the 88 and the 54 are going to stay out, as Larry Hensley Jr. and Dalton Creech. The 8 and the 014 are going to stay out. Christopher Smith. A lot of people are going to stay out. So, unfortunately for the Dalton Creech and Larry Hensley Jr., they're going to be going through now. There's a special pit reporter in here. He usually is pretty quiet, but his name is Larry Hensley Jr. I'm going to bring him in for a question. Do you still have a fast repair there, Mr. Larry?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I got you.
Yes, sir. I still got a fast repair.
Okay. Well, there you have it, people. He still has a fast repair, so he's, hopefully he can stay out of trouble and be able to keep that fast repair till the end. So hopefully he doesn't need it.
Well, being in the back of the pack here, starting the second area, the third quarter of the race, or the final portion of the race here, could be something that's well needed as we've seen a few vehicles get pretty banged up here, throughout the race as the race continues. But Mark Stewart is going to continue to be out front. He's going to need to fight off the 54 of Brandon Elvis, as Brandon Elvis has finally made it back up to the front after coming in for that pit stop and then kind of getting involved with some small incidents in the back, but I'm doing the best he could to avoid those. Brandon Cooper in the 8 is up in P number 3. Justin Coleman has made his way up through the field. He got involved there a little bit. He has burned up his fast repair, but still sitting in that P number 4. Another car going to be stuck on the outside. So, but the 014 and the 54, as far as teammates, they usually do a really, really good job of working together. So, let's see if those two drivers can work that outside and get past that 88 of Mark Stewart.
Yeah, Jimmy, it's going to be interesting to see how the teammates going to take this. I know the 88 got loose and got into the wall, so caused a big melee earlier in the race. Now he found himself back in the lead, and he's off to the races on that loud pedal. He's going to jump down in front of pull in front of Brandon Elvis, as the number 8 of Brandon Cooper is going to battle with the 014 of Justin Cooper, and Christopher Smith and all them are behind him watching this battle for the P number 3. See if they can take advantage of whoever gets in front first. So, and kind of hang the car on the outside. So, as you can see, the 80 of Christopher Smith kind of taking some big lanes as Dalton Creech is right behind Clint Walker in the 02 there for the P number 7 spot. So he has a cat's eye view of what's going on in front. As we got a melee going in, and somehow we got a. Oh, that was a big old. Ooh, Christopher Cash got a little hot going in the corner. Getting into James Honeycutt. They're going to tandem spin right in front of Austin Cooper as Larry Hensley gets in front of give the old a full 14 in the so Jason Haynes gets caught up in this, and as you can see, the 26 of Todd Lamphere is escaping with no issues whatsoever. So
that was a close one. I was sneezing, so I had to mute my mic. I don't know how 33 got by Larry Hensley. He got in the brakes and was able to nearly miss, but able to miss that melee there on that lap there on lap 109, as we're now on 112 of 150. So a little bit fun here tonight, Derek, and I think maybe it's the final race of the season jitters.
I think it's just there's so much on the line, Jimmy, and everyone wants to try to get every point they can. I know, and be able to say you got to win in the regular season. Don't get me wrong, the playoffs do matter, but there's also some level of pride saying I got to win a win in the regular season and the playoffs. So I do believe everyone's going to try to do it with their best they can to get a win tonight, just to say grab that momentum going into the playoffs, because that can truly help you going into the playoffs, having a win at the end of the season. So Mark Stewart's on that in the catbird seat right now in that P number 1 spot, but he got some hungry drivers behind him with Brandon Elvis, Justin Coleman, Brandon Cooper, and Christopher Smith, Clint Walker, and Dalton Creech there in P number 6. So
a lot of hungry drivers back there behind that 88 of Mark Stewart, like you were talking about. Obviously, Brandon Ellis on the outside, the 01 George Coleman down on the inside, the 8 of Brandon Cooper. We've seen that Bass Pro Shops up there, a few times this season, and obviously we still have Clint Walker in the 02, the 80 of Christopher Smith, Dalton Creech wanting that run. Oh, it's been there by the 88. They're able to maintain. Everybody still is too wide as we're looking back from the 88. Just noses off that 014 as the 014 and 54 battle there a little bit, and the 014 got the kind of the benefit of the doubt being that low side, and those two drivers tag just every so little bit.
Yeah, that's really close to giving each other a lot of room. 014 just kind of sliding up. The 54 is getting a nice little run there, as you can see, trying to drop down below the 88. The 80 of Christopher Smith is trying to come back and try to take that inside that 34. So Dalton Creech and Brandon Cooper are battling for that P number 4 spot. So
P number 5 being that battle right here, and it's just two drivers trying to keep that position and really got to fight them cars, and this battle obviously for position could fight these two drivers towards the end, heating up these tires like this, running side by side for so long. But I understand the 8 not wanting to give any the 8 not wanting to give any spots up, so only gives one spot up to the 36 of Dalton Creech, excuse me, and falls back in front of the 02 of Clint Walker. But Clint Walker having a pretty decent run. He's up 4 spots from the start. Biggest winner of the race so far right now is Austin Cooper in the 12. And man, has the 12. I hope he has
some action.
I hope he has a 12-pack for the end of the race. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of a rough night. He's going to probably need a little bit more than a 12 pack there, Jimmy. He's probably going to need a whole some Crown Apple. Larry Hensley gets into the Christian Ruse as they both tandem spin, and you know it is so.
13 and the 14 getting together just a little bit. 33 just had one heck of a run. Inside. Not quite get her slowed down, not to get wrapped up to that 14. Flips it around. Those two cars go nose to nose to get those cars. Run up. Oh, 14 comes up into the 69. Oh. I always hate. Excuse me.
Yeah. A little frustration going and blowing over there. So, I mean, it is trying to get that car turned around, feeling like you're getting left around. So, no harm, no foul for both of those cars. Doesn't look like it's going to hurt the cars as much. So,
no, it's fine. If anything, it just hurt each other's feelings just a little bit. But the 14, obviously getting caught behind the pace car, so gonna go another lap down, or is one lap down. Not being able to make it past the pace car before it made it around. Excuse me. But it looks like we have 11 drivers still on the lead lap. Yep. It'll be Mark Stewart, Brandon Ellis, Justin Coleman, Christopher Smith, Dalton Creech, Clint Walker, Austin Cooper, James Honeycutt, Brandon Cooper, Larry Hensley Jr., and Christian Ruse, all on the lead lap. Another single, looks like to be maybe yet another single file start. Now we just still got lights on the pace car. Jumping the gun. Some of these cautions, it seem like they fly by. By the time we get done reviewing the caution, and then it's talking a little bit, and the next thing you know, the pace car's got lights out, and we're going back green again.
yeah, Jimmy, I mean, it's going to be fun, exciting, a 25-lap shootout there. So, it almost looked like they were going single file for a second.
Nah, we're gonna double up here. 23 laps to go. I mean, if you're out there, as crazy as this race has been so far, who do you think is going to win? Who's going to pull the rabbit out of the hat? Going to be somebody up that's currently up front? Is it going to be somebody in the back of the pack?
I wouldn't put it past Larry Hensley Jr. I wouldn't put it past Dalton Creech. I mean, you never know. I mean, if the guys in front get really racy, something happens. Someone in the back could win it. Yeah, you just never know on certain tracks, Jimmy.
That's, I think, the fastest I've seen these guys single file out here in a while. The 8 is battling between the 12. 21 laps to go. It's still green.
Everyone's still going, so I don't see why they should bring out a caution. So they're going to let it
go. They got to let this one roll.
88 has a nice lead over the 54 as the 014 is trailing the 54. 54 is going to get a nice little run coming out of the corner on the 88. He's going to back up that corner a little bit so he can get a nice little run out as we got a nice view of the exit of turn 2, turn 3 and 4. So here comes the cars coming out of the corner. We are at 18 laps to go. So it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. We got a bubble spot, so you got Larry Hensley Jr. on the bubble with Jason Haynes. So he's as long as he stays in front of Jason Haynes, he should be locked in for the race for the playoffs. As you can see, Brandon Cooper battling with James Honeycutt in that 76 for that P number 6 spot. Or P number 7, sorry. So, as he gets they're battling, holding each other nice and tight. 76 pinching the 8 down a little bit, going into the corner, coming out of the corner now. So,
that's really all you can ask for, is to have two drivers like this drive side by side, you know, for up position here late in the race and giving each other room, fighting it out, fighting the car out, for using the grip of the car and your throttle control, brake control, in order to, you know, basically top each one out. The 8 has the preferred line. The 76 of Honeycutt doing a good job of holding them off or trying to defend it and get back in the fight there for Pete number.
Yeah,
8.
you know that that O2 is going to play a big part in that. Is if he's going to be able to, you know, James Honeycutt's going to be able to hold that spot. As you can see, the leaders are getting, you know, a little antsy behind Mark Stewart. As you can see, Brandon Elvis is searching on which way to go around the 88. Trying to, if the 88 doesn't make a mistake, it's going to be hard to get around him on the outside. But you know, if anyone could do it, Brandon Elvis could probably do it. So.
Yeah, 54 really looking for his opportunity to pick up that mistake from the 88, and he's got 11 laps to do it. As you got 11 laps to go here in this race. 10 now down to 10, but definitely a battle here up front as we are single file. Some pretty good racing going on right at the moment, trying to see where kind of everybody is. As looks like by the track map, everybody is kind of spread out. Your battle is up here between these top 5. Then 6 will be Clint Walker and James Honeycutt. So your battle here is up front for the race. 54 of Brandon Elvis is really looking to get around that 88 of Mark Stewart, as they've had plenty of battles so far this season. Right now, the 88 has the position to bring this thing home, and you know, the 54 can't slip up. I know his teammates back there, but only 7 laps to go. I mean, Justin Coleman wants a win as well, so can the 014 get around the 54 and 88, or take advantage of those two maybe to getting together and capitalizing on a win here?
You know, Jimmy, that's going to be the issue. Is he going to give that famous old bump and run? I mean, unfortunately, that's about the only way you can get around someone here without them making a mistake going into the corner. As you can see, he's giving a nice little coming out of the corner. So he's letting them know he's there. So any little mistake Mark Stewart's going to make, he's going to have the 54 right there to capitalize. So as we got 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen, coming down, it's going to be a nail biter. Brandon Elvis going to, as you can see, he's taking a look, going into turn 1. They're going to be battling coming out of the corner. He's going to, Mark Stewart's going to haul. We got 4 laps to go. He's going to try to make that run on the outside. He's going to, he gives it, try to slide up, but he was already there. Brandon Elvis is going to be on the outside. The 014 is going to try to take advantage. And Brandon Elvis is going to be on the outside. He's going to try to race him going to, as we got 3 laps to go, coming to 2 laps to go. Brandon Elvis is going to hang out tight. He's going to make that outside line work. We got 2 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be interesting. So, he got a nice little lead. So, Mark Stewart's going to drive in. They're going to touch the door. He's going to get a little loose. Justin Coleman's going to come in, get a nice little run as Brandon Elvis is going to. We are on the final lap. So, it's going to be interesting coming down to the stretch. Going into turn 4, Mark Stewart's going to have a nice little run. Brandon Elvis, Justin Coleman, as Mark Stewart's going to go loose. Brandon Elvis is going to win the nail biter at South Boston. Oh my gosh, that was exciting. No 1-4 guys.
Mark Stewart had one heck of a job trying to fight those drivers off, but the nail, like you said, nail biter at the end, where the 54 Brandon Elvis comes away the winner just by .073 over Mark Stewart. Justin Coleman finishing in 3rd, Dalton Creech in 4th, James Honeycutt in 5th, Clint Walker, Larry Hensley Jr., Christian Drews, Austin Cooper, Christopher Smith, Brandon Cooper, Jason Haynes, Christopher Cash, Lampier, and then Jonathan Carter for our 15-car field here tonight at South Boston. So, fantastic finish here to what's been a chaotic but crazy and fantastic race.
Yeah, Jimmy, it was awesome. It was a great race. There was a big old Christopher Smith got into Justin Coleman coming into turn 3 and 4. You know, getting him a little loose. It looked like he still finished P3. Larry Hensley Jr. Finishing P4. As the results are, Brandon Elvis, Mark Stewart, Justin Coleman, Dalton Creech, James Honeycutt, Clint Walker, Larry Hensley Jr., Christian Ruse, Austin Cooper, Christopher Smith, and P number 10, Brandon Cooper, Jason Haynes, and Christopher Cash, Todd Lamphere, and Johnson Carter. If you haven't already done it, I'll do it again for you if you already did. So, a lot of exciting race. That was a nail biter. That was, nice clean racing. Mark Stewart just got a little loose coming out of the corner there, Jimmy, and he, just didn't have enough to get back. So it was awesome finish, as you can see. So as we wait for the drivers to come into the, to get further.
Yeah, we don't, wait for the drivers to kind of work their way up to the broadcast booth here for some words on how their race was and give them guys some much needed recognition that they deserve. But yeah, pretty intense out there all night tonight. A lot of close battling, hard battling, and everybody trying to get every inch in position as possible. Throughout the whole race. The ending was obviously, I think, the best nail biter because there was an ending to it. But there was a lot of laps that were just like that throughout the entire race there.
Yeah, Jimmy. A lot of good hard racing. The last 25 laps was exciting. We had a little bit of a hiccup. They let it go green, and it proved to be an awesome 25 laps. Not, bumper to bumper, battling everywhere, everything you can ask for. It was a very good race at the last 25 laps. The strategy did come into play for some. Some came in a little early, stayed out. Some, went in and got caught up into some stuff. But that's just how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes, I guess, sometimes you make the right call, sometimes you don't, and it doesn't work out in your favor. So, but other than that, it was a great race. Nothing to be ashamed about. Everyone, probably ran a little hard. Your short track tempers are there. So
the drivers are having too much fun discussing maybe the later part of the race. But I'm gonna go ahead and steal Justin Coleman here. It looks like he's live with his teammate, but we're gonna move him to the booth as we steal Justin Coleman up here. And Justin, it's Jimmy up and Derek up in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Yes, sir. What's up?
Hey, that was one hell of a finish. You guys are battling so hard all race. You're one of the drivers that was kind of you pitted early. You ended up in towards the back of the pack, like mid race, and then worked your way back forward there to battle for the win with that 88 of Mark Stewart and obviously your teammate of Brandon Elvis. But great run. I wasn't quite sure who was going to come in third and back, as I was really focusing on that intense battle between Mark Stewart and Brandon Elvis, as it was mere 700ths of a second in order for Brandon to take away that win from the 88. But anyway, just give us a little bit of rundown of your race tonight, as we know it was pretty chaotic out there.
Chaotic is the word for it. It was obviously fun, but a lot going on in this race. Getting fun and getting damage and taking, but I don't know. We just kept our nose down and tried to work our way through and ended up in a good position at the end. I don't know what happened there, 3 and 4. I guess Chris accidentally rolled the center a little too much and got me, but he straightened me up and got lucky and finished third still. So, but yeah, man, that was a hell of a battle for the lead, man. They were getting after it for sure. I was waiting on them to slip up and I could slip on through, but
they had the track blocked for you.
They had the track blocked, but it was fun to watch.
It's definitely a lot of fun to watch, and obviously pretty intense. This was the last race of the season, I believe. Let's see, you are sitting probably after this race, maybe second. We're still in third place, heading into the playoffs. Heading off to, I believe you all are supposed to go to Southern National. I know on the schedule it has Southern National twice. I think there was supposed to be a small change, but how do you feel going into the and what are your chances of pulling away this season with an overall championship?
Ooh, well, when I first joined, I wasn't planning on it, but I guess here we are. We're going to be fighting for a championship, so definitely going to have to mind our P's and Q's and keep our nose down and see what we can do. I hope we go to Southern National. I enjoy that track, so it'd be a good first race for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, it's on there 2 times, so I believe that y'all are going to go there at least once, but I don't think you're going to do them back-to-back, but that's where you're heading, planning on being next week for Southern National. And anyways, I want to say congratulations on tonight's finish. Obviously, short tracks are always can and will be chaotic. But you walk away in P number 3 and running in a pretty decent finish there for the last race of the season heading into the playoffs. So congratulations, and I'll give you a little bit of time for any thanks or special shout-outs that you need.
Thank you, sir. I want to give a shout-out to my teammate Brandon for picking up the win. He's pretty deserving of that. He worked hard all night. Thank y'all for broadcasting. Y'all do a great job. Enjoy watching it back. Thank Christopher Cash for the league and all the admins and stuff. It's a great league to run in. It's always fun. Run down the sponsors. Barry Ellis Performance and Fabrication, Chestnut Hill the Restaurant in Myrtle Beach, BH Homes Construction, Gibbs Brothers Construction, Parker Brothers Window Tinting, and Shock Eye Racing Performance.
Nice long list, and you had them written down this week, but it's good to see that 014 are actually, up here on the podium, and as we get in the talk to you quite often up here. So good luck on the playoffs coming up here just next week, starting next week, and hope you have a great rest of your season.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
And that's your third place finisher of the 014 of Justin Coleman. Now we need to grab Mark Stewart.
I got him.
All right.
Hey, Mark, we saw you from your chat. Are you there, buddy?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
So Larry and Derek up in the, Jimmy and Derek in the booth here. What a great race. It was a nail biter. You had some issues in the beginning of the race. You got into the wall. There was a big old wreck. You worked your way up. And, just tell us about that last few laps trying to hold off Brendan Elvis.
Those guys are fast, man. Him and Coleman and trying to hold him off. I was just going in the center, letting it roll up. Let it bounce off him a little bit, but not too bad to wreck him. I was getting a little tight there at the end, but, man, good race. I had a good strategy. I felt like I played it right. I pit, got 4. I didn't really use him up. I got around some cars, got around a couple wrecks, and just stepped on my own toes at the end there. But what are you gonna do? It was a good race. Brandon killed it.
Yeah, I mean you got a little happy on that throttle coming to the white flag. I don't know if you would have had the edge if you didn't. Brandon had a really good exit, but either way, man, that was exciting. Obviously, congratulations on your P number 2. I'll give you a minute for a shout out or thanks to your friends and sponsors.
Just my buddies at PCR who I run with, Chris and Todd, and Dalton's in our thing tonight. So he got a top 5, so good for him. And just good running by everyone. Thanks for having me as usual.
Yeah, well, everyone, that's your P number 2, Mark Stewart in the bad company number 88 machine. Well, congratulations, Mark. Go celebrate with your friends and teammates, buddy.
Thank you. Thanks you guys for beating the boost.
No problem. See you next week.
See you next week.
That's the 88 of Mark Stewart. Always on to put a great show, but show tonight and down to the nail biter. I couldn't get my co-host to be quiet for just a second. as he chewed up the time on the clock as the number 54 rolls across the start finish line with the narrowest of margins. Brandon, one heck of a race. Jimmy back in the booth. You copy, buddy.
Yes, sir. I got you.
I mean, you can't ask for a better race than that close. I love races when they're just that close. I mean, you were showing him the bumper. You kind of let him know you were there. He was trying to kind of fend you off a little bit, and it was kind of, I think his tires were starting to go on his car just a little bit, and you really had a good run there, and you were able to walk away tonight using the outside for the win here. You had to be a little bit stoked. Give us a little bit of rundown on your race, and just kind of share with everybody how your adventure was.
Yeah, man, it could have been a lot more fun. I think the racing could have been a little more clean there. We could have raced side by side without all the driving 6 lanes out the racetrack into my door and stuff. That was kind of unnecessary, I thought. He knew his stuff was junk, kind of like it normally is at Entities races. But man, I don't know. I was kind of just biding my time. I wasn't really trying to get aggressive and make a move on him, but didn't want to wreck us both either, you know.
Yeah, and either way, I mean, out there, a lot of drivers obviously just out here having fun, trying to get the best finishes possible, and try to keep it clean. And talk with him. Obviously, he wasn't out there and nothing malicious or anything. Just kind of hard driving on his part. And obviously, everybody lives and learns, and you just move to the next race. But you're moving on to the next race, and I believe you are the one in the lead for the points, maybe over Christopher Smith, or it's dang close. Heading into the playoffs, it looks like y'all should be heading out to Southern National. I'm not sure if it's next week or the following week, but that's one of the races coming up. How do you feel on your chances of winning this overall thing for the whole season?
Man, that's the goal. We kind of got a late jump into the season there, but we came out firing pretty hard, and we picked up the win the last 3 races in a row. So that's pretty paramount, I think. It really jumped me right up into points battle. So it wasn't the initial plan, but I think it is now.
Well, I wish you the best of luck here. I mean, you're really putting on some impressive races out there, and are really showing some of these drivers that kind of teaching them a thing or two, and some of the lines that could be taken or used out there. And it's kind of what you need out there. It's somebody that's a little slower on some of these tracks is watching some of you faster drivers just know how you get around here, and you eventually do get better. And it doesn't show instantaneously throughout the season, but I do know when you head back out, or when the other drivers head back at, it really does pay big dividends. But I want to say congratulations here tonight on the win, and wish you the best of luck for the final races throughout the season, and we'll see how this thing all turns out, and maybe you'll walk away the season championship here at Smoky Mountain Late Model Stock Car.
Yeah, man, fingers crossed, man. Hopefully we can keep this streak going. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of fun, to be honest with you, man. I really dig these setups these guys have. I'm not sure who makes them, but they fit my driving style. Most of them are pretty free. That's kind of the way I like a car to feel, so especially on here. And I just hopefully can keep this momentum rolling, man.
Yeah, definitely hope you keep the momentum going. So if you got any shout-outs, this is the time to take it, and then we'll let you get out of here and go celebrate with your friends and family.
Yeah, man, I just want to thank my wife, Elvis Coleman Racing, Barry Elvis Performance and Fab, Chestnut Hill Restaurant, Shot Guy Racing Performance, Coleman Design, and Chris Cash and the gang for the league, man. It's a lot of fun to run, and you guys for the excellent broadcast.
All right, Brandon. Well, once again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, man.
That's your winner here tonight again. Here at South Boston, the number 54 of Brandon Elvis. So you're kind of just showing them how it gets done. You can see there, this is here the final laps here. As you can see the 014 going around just right there in front of Christopher Cash. But sending the 014 back forward here. So I did not quite see that incident there at the end, and it's quite interesting how things happen. So the 014 was able to make out there. It looks like the one that kind of paid there at the end was the
80.
The 80 of Christopher Smith. So but Christopher Smith isn't no slouch. He's up there in the points for a reason. So I look forward to seeing these drivers battle out for the rest of the season. Next week starts the playoffs. So who's your favorite driver out there? Who's going to walk away this overall thing, the winner? The 54 Brandon Elvis is looking pretty hot, but you have his teammate right behind him. You got Christopher Smith. You have the 88 of Mark Stewart. A lot of drivers showing their colors here late in the season, and anybody can be crowned the champion here with the Smoky Mountain late model stock car tour this season. So, Derek, you got anything for the viewers out there?
Just come back next week. You think tonight was crazy? Next week's just going to be even more crazy. I guarantee you the finish is going to be crazy because it's the playoffs. But it's the playoffs. Everyone's going to probably put in a little bit more time, a little bit more effort for that spot. I mean, I believe, it's 1 or 2 races. They eliminate each race. I believe it's every race they're going to eliminate at least 2 until North Wilkesboro, and then I believe you're going to have the 4 going in. So I believe 2 are going to get eliminated next week. So you're going to know. I mean, you got to be on your toes. You got to practice. These drivers are going to have to practice, put in the time. You have a bad race, I mean, it could be the end of the playoffs for you, and that's not what we want. What you want, so you better put in your time. So it's going to be interesting to see who puts in the time, who's going to show up next week. Could it be a first-time winner next week, Jimmy? Brandon and Justin Coleman are putting a show on right now as teammates. I know they finished podium today with Brandon getting the win tonight. So, and I believe he's won the last 3 races. So, I mean, he's on a little bit of a hot streak, and that's what you want going into the playoffs.
Yeah, so looking at the standings, obviously Christopher Smith with the win. Brandon Elvis tonight. This will make race number 3 for wins. Justin Coleman does have a win. Mark Stewart has a win. Brandon Cooper has a win. Christopher Tate has 2 wins, and we haven't seen Christopher Tate in a while. He's outside of that 12 mark. And then Rob Hattenbeck, that was with us early in the season, he had a win, and Brock Whitehead. So a lot of winners out there. A few that are no longer with us, maybe doing something else or another league, but we welcomed their appearances and out here having a good time. But Brandon Elvis on fire tonight. Can he keep it rolling for these last final races of the season? So again, congratulations to the 54 Brandon Elvis for the win, Mark Stewart for 2nd, and Austin Coleman for P number 3. Rest of your field would be 4th place of Dalton Creech, James Honeycutt in 5th, Clint Walker in 6th, Larry Hansley in 7th, Christian Ruse in 8th, Austin Cooper in 9th, Christopher Smith in 10th, Brandon Cooper in 11th, Jason Haynes in 12th, 13th was Christopher Cash, Todd Lampiers in 14th, and Jonathan Carter round out your 15 car field. But for the rest, I think for me and Derek, until next week, and all you fans out there, and I really appreciate the kind words and look forward to seeing you guys every week, every other week, anytime you can show up. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll be back same time next week if you have anything for us. But until then, we'll see you at the track.